Welcome to the Rotary Times, a public service program presented by Rotary District 7610. On our programs, we talk with Rotarians and community leaders and discuss how Rotary International builds partnerships to support local, national, and world communities. I'm your host, Rotarian Dr. Deborah Jackson from the Rotary Club of McLean, Virginia. The success of a Rotary Club is dependent on the club president. They lead, inspire, motivate, and connect their clubs with communities and others locally and around the world. Joining me remotely is Rotarian Connie Sawtell, who is the new president of the Rotary Club of Great Falls, Virginia for the 23-24 Rotary year. Welcome, Connie, to the Rotary Times.
Thank you for having me, and great to see you today.
Oh, great. We're just delighted that you're here to be able to show and celebrate the accomplishments of your club, the Rotary Club of Great Falls. So we're going to go ahead and get started because we need to move you into having our audience know who you are. So why don't we start off by you telling us a little bit about Connie Sawtell.
My life before Rotary was, I came from Cincinnati, moved to Washington, D.C. in 1980, have a husband and two children that added to my life in 1990. I was working in the real estate settlement and title insurance business before I joined Rotary. And the one thing is I came from a family that believed in service and doing good things for other people. That's a little bit about myself.
All right, that's a lot when you say you came from a family that believes in service. That's huge, so thank you for sharing that. So how did you get involved in Rotary? And especially the Rotary Club of Great Falls.
Right, so you know that I got exposed to Rotary before I got involved in the Rotary Club of Great Falls because my husband, Paul, has been a member from approximately 1989 in the Rotary Club of McLean. And we had a business at Great Falls, and Jeff was starting a new Rotary Club, and I had known being involved in the Great Falls community that only a few people did things. When Jeff got the club up to about 44 people, I jumped on board and said, yep, we need to be there, we need to support him. And I've been there when they started in May of 2011, and so now it's been almost 12 and a half years being involved in Rotary as myself being a Rotarian.
All right, and now the president. How awesome is that? Tell us a little bit about your club, you know, where you meet, the size, some unique things about your club.
Our club started out as a morning club at 7:30 in the morning at Riverbend Country Club. And then we found out that and what's really nice is our club starts at 7:30 a.m. and it ends at 8:30 because we knew people had to get off and go to business. But there was members who couldn't make the morning meeting. So we first added a third Thirsty Thursday where it was just fellowship, and we would travel to different places around Great Falls, restaurants, a couple of times to member homes. And then fast forward, we've taken one of the morning meetings and we changed it into a PM meeting. So we meet the first and the third at night, and the second and fourth in the morning, and then the fifth we take off. And we started with 85 members. Unfortunately, some members didn't understand what Rotary was, so it dropped down to about 45, and we're back up to 65. And it's a real laid back, interesting, people from different backgrounds and diversity and that Great Falls and that. So we have a great time.
That's great. And I think you were one of the earlier clubs that had corporate memberships. Is that correct?
Yes, we do have corporate membership, and it's really nice because we know that business people are busy and they can't make it all the time. And sometimes they want to send somebody else in their club to it or be part of it. So since we've done it, we don't, it's not really lopsided with a lot of corporate members, but what we do is we will allow someone to be the primary member and they pay full dues, and then they can have a second and a third member and they pay a reduced fee which covers our base costs of items that have to be paid out to third parties. And currently we have about 5 people on that type of membership right now.
Okay, and that's wonderful. So it's a way to expand your membership. It's a way to bring the community, especially though the business side of your community, into your club, which will have an even greater impact in the Great Falls area. So I love being able to hear when people are doing things just a little different, and you all are doing that. Also, I just love the fact that you're able to kind of move that meeting around to meet the needs of your membership. I think that's important. So.
Yeah. So some people are confused, but it's easy. I always remember Thursday is a night, so take two back as a night, and then the 2 in the middle are in the morning. And some of them haven't figured that out, but we keep them informed by sending them weekly emails. And some days we'll send them an email to remind them, hey, we'll see you tonight for happy hour.
Yeah, nice, nice. Tell us about some of your club service functions that you currently have in place to ensure that the club is running effectively.
That is, we have a board of 9 of us, and a few of the board members have certain segments of the tasks, like club administration, service projects. We have also like the attendance and paperwork to know exactly how many hours we're giving, what type of money we're giving out, and that. And then the one thing that helps roll it is have people to take leads of the projects and try to have the committees strong that they can manage the overall picture of the club. And if everybody takes a little job, it makes the whole process much easier.
Oh, absolutely. And it also means that you've convinced everyone in the club that each one of the members are about doing the job of the president. So that's a wonderful way of looking at that as well. Oftentimes people, they think we just need to come and it's going to happen, but everyone is taking their role. So great. Have your club functions changed much since COVID?
During COVID, we pretty much went to Zoom, which wasn't really fun because we couldn't have that one-on-one talk with each other. We have kept hybrid meetings, not the third Thursday, but the other ones. And that it's usually someone who maybe is out of town or just can't come. So it's not like we don't have 5 to 10 people, it might be 2 or 3. But we have kept that option to see who's going to take it. The one interesting thing is we had a lot of projects before COVID. We stopped. And this year, beginning of the year, we re-looked at all the projects we were doing. And some we just said, okay, we're not doing them. We didn't get a lead. But for those that joined us during COVID, they didn't realize how much service and projects we do. And our club is sort of a culture where come as you can, or if that's your passion, please come. And there's a key projects where we say it's all hands on deck. Mm-hmm. So I think that they really want the social more a lot right now with the service projects.
I got you. President Connie, tell us about some of your key community service projects that you got going on in the community.
Okay. So one of the things with the service projects is we were like, okay, we have Rotary International that does a lot of the international projects, but we wanted to give a lot of money back to us, to the community or our area. During COVID, one of the things we did is we gave back to Cornerstones, which is a nonprofit out of Reston. And since we didn't have meal money, we gave money, and we had a couple of other Rotarian clubs join us that we did a match for their spring camp, paying up to $10,000, which was nice. We still support Cornerstones, and we first started with just going to their shelter and serving dinner. But what happens is a lot of nonprofits go out and get grants, but then they have these, we call them urgent needs. So we're using that money that we would have done the meals and going and doing that. Another nonprofit that is actually out of Great Falls is called Lift Me Up, which is a therapeutic horse facility. And they've also moved into serving not just children but also EMS and police and that. And there's a lot of expense with the horses. So we have a lot of support with them with the workday that we actually use our district grant to go and help them do capital improvements to the property.
That sounds amazing. I didn't even realize that was up there, so you've educated me on that.
Yeah.
Is it a very large? I know that the kids can go, but you're saying you have expanded it, or they have expanded it to our service departments as well?
Yeah, they have one of the gentlemen on their board, and I don't know a lot, but they've just added a second barn in another location in Great Falls. So I think we're just going to keep giving them support while they need it. And it's very interesting. A lot of our members, we cross over into a lot of the different other nonprofits in Great Falls. So they just had a gala, and I think there was probably at least 10 of us that were there to support them that night or more.
Wonderful. How do your programs emerge, or do you have some new programs you're thinking about implementing during your tenure as president?
It's real interesting because one of the things I started last year is, Rotary is all about service, and we don't need to recreate the wheel. Is we can partner with other nonprofits in Great Falls, and that's what it's not a key one, but it's to let our members know that this service is available. If it's something it's your passion, please go and do it. Let us know that your hours for that event, and that. One of the things we did just pick up was we are partnering with the Great Falls Citizen Association, where they have it's the Grange Oak Grove naturalization project. And we have one member who's an
Horticulturist?
Arborist.
Oh, an arborist, okay.
Great, because this is right up his alley, and he was able to go in and give him, another view, and he is help expediting this project to go much. It's going to be like a 5 or 10 year project, but to try to push it a little bit faster, and it really has improved. We were there in spring of 2020 for our officers' installation, and it sort of looks sad. And if you would go there today, it's much better than it was then. So that's where, and we're also partnering with other nonprofits.
Wonderful. Sounds like you all are pretty busy, out there in Great Falls doing some amazing work, which is good.
Yeah. So, but we're busy, but we tell everybody, do what is the opportunities you want to participate in.
That's nice. So you open it up to the membership where you have follow your passion, come back and we'll support it. I think that's amazing, and thank you for that. We're going to take a short break and be right back and talk more with President Connie Sawtell. Please stay with us.
Possibilities are all around us. We see potential in unexpected places. And when we share our knowledge, vision, and connections, we turn great ideas into action in communities all around the world. Together, we can make real change happen. We're Rotary. We are people of action. Get involved at Rotary.org.
Welcome back to the Rotary Times. We're here talking with Rotarian Connie Sawtell, the president of Rotary Club of Great Falls, Virginia, for the 2023-24 Rotary year. President Connie, you've talked to us about a lot of different things that your club has been involved and very passionate about within your community. Tell us now maybe about some of your international programs and how are they, what are they, how are they being handled?
One of the ones that we've been involved with for a while is the Strategic Water Alliance with other clubs in the district of 7610. That's a nice one because if people want to go do the walk once a year to give money, they can. And we're also part of the program that they do overseas to bring in the wells to the communities in Africa. That is the one we're doing with District 7610. one of our members is from India, and we have done two with an Indian club overseas. The latest one that actually I finished up signing the final paperwork was in July of this year of 23, was where we had a bridge tournament in January, February, and we raised funds to give to that global grant that they did vaccines for the Indian girls in rural communities. The next one that we're in the process of right now working on is with that same club. They, over time, they want to do 1,000 operation for children with chronic heart disease. These children, if they don't get the operation, they will probably pretty much die. The public hospitals can't get in to get it. The private hospitals, it's very expensive. It's like $4,000 to $6,000 to get an operation. But they've worked out that they can get an operation with a partner hospital for $1,800. They plan on doing 100 operations this year. So that global grant is going to be $180,000. They're partnering with us and a lot of other clubs around the US and other parts of the world. So we are planning on trying to raise between $7,000 and $9,000 this coming January or February. And with the leverage from Rotary International and the money that the district will match, that $7,000 will turn into approximately $25,200. And that is the great thing about partnering with other clubs here. And the one thing is, what's exciting is I know that District 7610 has just now started working on a global grant that we will host it here, and it will benefit Northern Virginia. But it will take a couple of years before everybody will see that project.
Oh, wonderful. That's the amazing thing about the global grants. The clubs, if they have not taken a look at those, they really do need to investigate a global grant as you in terms of maximizing your dollars to be able to support some of the passions that you have. And the district grants, though, they're very much, sometimes I don't think people utilize it as much as they could, but if they looked into it, they will find the beauty in partnering with other organizations or other clubs to get things done. So thank you for sharing that. How does your family, well, before I even ask you about your family, which one of those projects have you loved the most that you've been involved in? It could be local.
Yeah, a lot of them I enjoy. One of them that we pick up we call it beautification of Georgetown Pike, AKA pick up trash on Georgetown Pike. The nice thing is, usually it'll be two of us that'll walk a segment of the road, and it's a great time on one-on-one to get to know other Rotarians because you're talking and walking. The other thing is I am involved in Cornerstone with the Herndon After School program, and I've offered that opportunity to other members. And since I love children, that's one of my favorite ones. But a lot of them are it's just great to feel like, when you leave, you're giving your time and you're making something happen better in this world.
Oh, it's wonderful. And involving kids. That's my passion, so it's always good. All righty. Now, tell us about your family. We just heard that you have a spouse that's been a Rotarian. So, but how do the rest of the family and even your spouse, how do they support your involvement in a different club?
Yeah. Well, what was really nice is they, when I was installed in June, they all came out and came to the event. And I think what's really unique about Rotary is every club has its own personality and its own demographics. It's, you just got to go to the club and find out which one fits you. And my daughter she's already been to the Rotary Club in McLean because that's where my husband Paul is a member. And she was just surprised at the different demographics and that. And then her and her husband came to a Thursday that we had over the summer, which was nice. My husband has been very supportive because he's been president before back in 2013. So he knows how Rotary operates and that. And he just helps me. He helps me review things because I'm not a writer, so he'll look at the items and that. And then the interesting thing is everybody loves to send emails. So we compare, oh, did I get this email because I'm president? Or did you get it because you're a general member? And then sometimes we're like, oh no, maybe you did get it because you got that position.
Yeah.
So we
Nice.
sort of have fun with it.
Great, great. Well, it's about family as well, so it's good to hear. Rotary model, service above self. How has that been helpful to you when conducting your business life or just your work life in general?
Yeah. I think that, well, we've been retired. I've been retired for about 10 years, but I still do a part-time work. And it's sort of like what I do in that part-time job still is I'm doing a service, and I want to make sure that you're giving the client or the customer the best service they can get, and you want to make sure that they understand everything, and that it's equal and fair in that on to everybody.
Mm-hmm. That's wonderful. The same I probably would say about the Rotary four-way test. I would imagine you can't leave it behind when you walk out your front door.
No, and I think the four-way test is great for everyday living, your business, if it's fair or whatever, and if you have a conflict or there's a question. And it's interesting, even in our board meeting, one of our members said, we're trying to figure out what the decision is going to be. He goes, well, let's go through the four-way test and see how it fits. Mm-hmm. And does it fit all the four, points that is in the four-way test? And it's a good guidance to live a great life.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. Given the new norm that we are all operating with, how then would you say clubs can grow? What recommendations might you have for clubs as they've either lost membership as a result of the pandemic or in the rebuilding phase? What recommendations might you offer?
I think what's important is everybody is different, and you have to stop back and first see why they want to join Rotary. You have to support them because when they join Rotary, it might have been slow business time, and then they have a project or something and they're really busy, and you have to understand that. Or for example, we had someone started a business and it's taking more time, so you have to be understanding, okay, they can't give as much time right now, but don't worry, they'll be back, and be here for them. And we have so much pressure on us nowadays. It's we have to if we split the work, then it's not going to be a lot of pressure on everybody, and make it fun and enjoyable and what they really want to do. And I think that's sort of why we had the morning and night meetings. Mm-hmm. Some people they have the money, but they don't have the time, so they help us financially. So Rotarians can help all different ways: service, support, and that's what's important.
Yeah, it's so true. In your demographics, are you seeing many under 40s, under 30s come into your club?
We're having our clubs, since we only started 12 years ago. Most of our members were in their 40s and 50s. Some of those have moved up, of course, in age, and we are getting younger members. We're adding more different demographics. Okay. That represents Northern Virginia, and I think you just have to be flexible with those that are younger because they have young children, and and that's the one thing that I don't know if we'll accomplish it this year, but I really would like. We always want spouses and families to come, but we need to do more family events where the children come for that workout, the lift me up work day. It was really nice because one of the women brought her daughter and another one brought her little son, and they just enjoyed it. And it was interesting because I had a curveball for a little service project out of the blue come to us. And so I had found out the one daughter was the age bracket of this, where the service project was coming from. So I was nonchalantly asking her some questions to verify if this project was legit and what she knew as a co-student.
All right. Well, thank you, President Connie, for sharing the Rotary Club of Great Falls with us this afternoon. We hope that you'll come back soon and give us some updates on what's going on in your club.
Thank you.
Yeah. For the Rotary Times program, I am your host, Rotarian Dr. Deborah Jackson from the Rotary Club of McLean, Virginia. You're welcome to join us at a Rotary Club in your area for either breakfast, lunch, dinner, or a service project. You can find a club near you by looking us up on the internet. Many clubs are hosting meetings in person, virtually, or in some hybrid format. You only need to look us up for details. Remember, always, our time is your time, and it's time well spent. Please join us for our next program as we continue to celebrate Rotary's 117 years of service above self.